welcome back to the Yoinky Sploinky Championship 2022 for another
Or
edition.
welcome for the first time if it's your first time viewing.
Indeed, and this is the fifth match, I believe. Correct? Yes, this is the fifth match of the tournament tonight.
This is the fifth match.
Tonight.
It's Mark. We have a returning player, Mark. Last time we saw him, he beat Jack 3-0. And he's playing against Gianni. Take it away.
Our fellow commentator Will, now turned player. After him, now all the commentators, not counting Jason, will have played a match. So,
yeah, no disrespect to Jason, I love him, but he's kind of in this weird commentator limbo, where
yeah,
he's not there all the time, and sometimes he just shows up but doesn't actually say anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's technically a commentator, and we love him all the same. We'll welcome him anytime he's here.
So Mark will be playing Zerg, presumably, and will be playing Protoss. So this is a matchup that, you know what, actually maybe I should save that for when we actually start.
Yeah, I think if Mark doesn't play Zerg,
no, he's
I'm just gonna say the only easier way of throwing the game would be for Mark to just try to attack Will with his 4 starting drones and not actually do any mining.
Yeah, okay, so you know what, actually before I say all that, maybe it's best if we just get the interviews out of the way.
Yeah, let's just get him in here.
Okay, so let's pull in our contested Mark for his interview questions.
Like, holy shit. Oh, wow.
You said it, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Holy shit. Hello.
Greetings, fellow contested
What's
Mark.
going on? Sorry, we were talking about Pokemon. How some of them look really cool. And some of them look garbage, but some of them look really cool.
Yeah, I assume the ones you're saying look really cool haven't been announced in Gen 9.
No. No. They're all leaked.
They're running out of ideas.
Yeah, I'm a huge Pokemon hater.
Why?
Because I study game design at school.
Okay. Fine. I don't give a shit anymore.
Okay.
I just think they look fun, alright? Whatever. We got a Dolphin finally. I'm happy about that.
Pokemon games are fun, but the games haven't changed. All right, well, we're off topic. All right,
Yeah.
So, Mark.
Yep.
How did you feel about your last game, or your last match?
Yeah, my last match against Jack was, one of the biggest villain arc moments I think I've had in my entire life, where I was just an asshole, for just fun, honestly. There was a moment where my Adderall wore off in the middle of the second game that caused the game to go on for twice as long as it should have. That was fun. That was a great moment.
So I guess I have 2 follow-up questions. First, are you using performance-enhancing
I was
drugs,
about to say that.
aka Adderall?
No. This is because I have severe ADHD that is bad, and listen, the odds are slim of me winning this match, even with my 100% win rate. But without the drugs that I need to go about everyday life, no, I will be a mess onto everyone. It'll be a nightmare for everyone involved.
Honestly, fair. Okay, and what
So-
did you do that made you feel like an asshole?
So we did a best 3 out of 5, and in the last game, I played Protoss. Now, I've never played Protoss before, but I know one thing about it, which is a cannon rush, because Blue has used it against me 3 times, and it's in the first 3 games that he played as Protoss. So I tried to replicate that, and I didn't even do it right, but it still got him even more tilted than he already was, so much so that he had to leave the call and go just chill out for a bit. His words, I think. So I felt awful about that, but it was mostly fun and games. And, we were screaming and cursing at each other, and he deserves it. He's a little bitch, and he sucks at this video game. He sucks at every video game. Fuck that guy.
Damn.
But You know, it was a good time. It was all fun and games. Love the spirit of the game. Love the
You
competition.
might regret saying that if you see Jack in the losers bracket.
Yeah, I might. I don't know.
That'd be a crazy revenge match.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Where Jack plays Protoss and Cannon rushes you every time.
Oh my god, I would actually love that.
So,
High key. Yes.
oh yeah, both of you joined the game, by the way.
Oh yes.
Or the lobby,
Oh,
rather. So Mark, what map
So
did
map.
you ban for this match, and why?
I believe I banned Benzene. Yeah, I banned Benzene. I wanted to get out of the way the maps that I knew the least about, and that would be Benzene, Neosylphid, and kind of Butter. But I mean, I've played a couple games on Butter, and a couple of really close matches actually, and I just know I wouldn't have that on Benzene or Neosylphid, so get those out of here.
Yeah, you know, as I'm just gonna, kind of break the fourth wall here for a little bit. As someone who helped pick the map pool, we did pick those 3 maps that you listed just because they were different and they are not super complicated, and they're, like competitive maps. Like pros have played on every single map in this tournament. So,
Right.
we picked those just to add a little bit of spice. But that being said, I don't blame you for banning Benzene and Neosylphid from Will.
Yeah, I think this is one where like I wanna be playing as much on home turf as possible, and it's a very hard thing to do against Will as is. But I think with these, especially with Fighting Spirit and Circuit Breakers, I think it's evening the playing field at least the slightest bit.
Yeah, but you'll have to win a match to get to that Circuit Breakers game.
That's true.
Okay. So moving on, what is your overall goal for this tournament?
I would like to go 2-2. No, it would be 2-2. I would like to go 2-2. That like at worst. If I go 2-2, I'll be happy, and I lose against, I guess, either you, Blue, or Jason. Like I'll be, or it'd be Gianni. Whoever I lose to, I would just like it to be a couple rounds after this. I just want to stick around for a while and have a couple more games where I can have a good time.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah, because I like this game a ton, and I like playing with people. And as much as the stakes are full of steak, it's nice to have.
Word. So, do you feel, would you call yourself prepared for this match?
No. No. I got out of work like an hour ago, and I'm physically exhausted, but my wrists aren't. So, and my brain and my mind and my hands aren't. So, I think I'm not prepared, but I don't know. I could be worse.
I like that optimism. So, what do you think about your opponent, Will?
I was thinking of pulling out the same bit where I was like, dude, this guy, fuck this guy. Like, I can't do that. Like, he's one of like both you guys in the call and Will are the people that like got me to understand what this fucking game was at all, how this shit worked, and like, especially how to play it like not like an idiot. Like, I can't have anything but the utmost respect for him for that. I'm afraid, kind of. I'm kind of quivering in my boots here. I know I'm the underdog, even with my 100% win rate. It's like, it's gonna be a good ball game. I don't know. I'm gonna fight real hard, real good, and that's really the best that anybody can ask for.
Absolutely. So, if you had to predict the outcome of this set, how do you think it's going to turn out? Do you think you might sneak a game on Will, or maybe 2?
I think if I play out of my mind, I think I can actually do this. And I think if Will kind of pulls his punches a little, especially. I think I can do this. I think there's a chance. It's essentially like a top seed playing a wild card. But we're wild for a reason, baby. I don't know.
Well, I just so happen to know that Will has not at least played a game today. I don't think he played yesterday either. So he might be a little rusty to get, not to get your hopes up or anything.
Oh, don't. Please.
Don't do that. Don't give me hope.
Don't. I like being in a remember the Alamo situation, I'll call it. Where it's like there is no hope, but I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna see how far I can get before
At least give the viewers something to see on your way down.
Before the bullets
leave a lasting impression.
Yeah.
True. I know our last game. You might think from the last game that Zeke was just, someone in Gianni's way up. But oh man, did he leave a lasting impression.
No, Zeke pulled some crazy shit. So
oh yeah.
You can do the
That's
same,
what I'm
man.
looking for. I'm hoping.
Or it could be a huge upset. We could have the first huge upset of the tournament.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know which way you could be meaning that, is the funny thing. But yeah,
true.
You're right.
True, because you have 100% win rate.
I've never lost.
So just, I guess, for viewers who don't know, I made like a really shitty thumbnail in MS Paint, and I was gonna put some stats because Mark technically played in the tournament, and I was like, I don't know, what do I put? I was like, well, he played 3 games and he won 3 games, so he has 100% win rate, and that's just on the thumbnail, in case you can't see.
It's so good. I like how we brought it up 3 times, and on the third one we're like, we should probably, in case someone doesn't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready, man. I'm not prepared, but I'm ready. I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me.
I like that.
Alrighty. Well, thank you. Any final words?
Man, go easy on me in the commentator's booth. No, I'm doing my best here. Anyway, yeah, that's all. It'll be a fun game.
Good. Well,
All
good
right,
luck.
Good
Mark.
luck.
Thank you.
We hope to see you pull some crazy shit.
Oh, I hope so too.
All right, let me pull our next contestant, Will, in here next.
Okay.
Greetings.
Greetings, command. I don't even play.
Okay.
So contestant, commentator Will, now turned player.
That's me. That's me, Smiley.
Yeah, you're the third in this call to step into the ring.
Well, let's hope we've saved the best for last.
Yeah, Jason.
True.
Okay, so Will, let's hear the lore behind your username. Why is it the way it is?
Okay. Dankadox. There is a little bit of lore. I wanted to Alright. So, like, when you're, like, 10 years old, you have, like, your cringy username, and then you reach, like, early teens, and then you're like, I'm gonna pick a cool username. And it's usually, like, way too long. And then you're like, alright, I need my adult username. It's more concise. And then, boom, Dankadox is born. Unique, pretty concise, easy to remember.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Not gonna mention that it was once Paradox Kitty.
True! Lore. More about that on another episode.
Yeah, we'll do a follow-up episode.
Okay. So how long have you been playing StarCraft?
Since 2017, and it's 2022, so like 5 years, but very on and off, and like not, in a professional sense in any way, not on the ladder,
Well, let me ask the deep lore question. When did you start playing StarCraft 2?
Oh, it's true. I have no clue. Maybe in like 2016, but like I played it for like maybe a month, if that, like in co-op games with my sister against like bots. again, not something that really builds skill, and I actually forgot I even did that. I've since taken the Brood War pill, and this is the StarCraft I prefer.
Yeah, so, with all that in mind, out of all the experience you've had with StarCraft Brood War and 2, what's your favorite unit in all that time?
It's hard to say. I like the Dragoon though. I think they're pretty simple to micro, even though they're dumb. Usually you can have them be dumb, like, in the places where you, like, don't need them. So, like, you can have them rally at some place in a wide open area and be like, okay, guys, you're only ever going to be in a wide open area. And then in, like, situations where you're like, shit, let me use my Dragoons, they're not too bad to control. God forbid you gotta get them up a ramp, though, and sometimes you do. I like their range. They're kind of strong. They're cool. So, yeah.
Okay, I mean, frankly, the only thing I like Dragoons is the only thing I like about Dragoons is killing them.
Yeah, bro, nothing more satisfying than seeing like 6 or more Dragoons die to a tank line.
True. But I respect the choice. Anyway, the map you banned was Neo Sylphid. Could you explain why?
I kind of didn't like the claustrophobic mains. Like, if you want to be like, okay, I'm Protoss, let me throw down 10 gateways, you're gonna really be struggling to fit them all in the main. And it's just kind of like, it's not that weird of a map, but it's the weirdest one we have in the pool. I don't like the thirds, like the third options. I also don't like how some bases just have like no minerals or gas. Like, it's just a little weird. So I decided to ban it.
Okay.
Makes sense. So, what do you think about your opponent, Mark?
Mark, what's the word I'm looking for? He's a fighter. He's striving for greatness, and I respect that. However, I do have a lot more experience than him, and I think his chances in this match are pretty slim. But that's okay. Yeah, I'm still gonna play. Like, I'm not gonna screw around with him. Not on purpose, at least. I'm just gonna play, as I would any other game, and hopefully win. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's been practicing something in secret, and I'll have something to my surprise.
Just like Tien.
And maybe I'll get wrecked. You say like Tien?
I meant Master Roshi.
I wish.
Bro,
Tien.
I wish Tien was practicing
True.
something in secret
Yeah,
and
we're
just
some
showed
Tien
up
fans.
and beat Goku. That'd be epic.
He's like, let me show off my superhuman form.
True.
What all you've got to do to get stronger
grows a
is
fourth
all you've got to do
eye.
is say to be strong to get stronger is have another character say you've been training in secret.
It's
True.
true. You could have Chaozu say that. He literally has someone to set him up.
Okay.
Anyways,
So, last question. If you had to predict the outcome of the set, what do you think the score will be?
I'm gonna say 2-0. I know that's not modest of me, but I just think that the chances for Mark here are pretty slim. He doesn't have a lot of practice, if any practice, in a Zerg versus Protoss. I mean, he practiced against you a little bit before the game, but I think he's just, new to the matchup. It might even be my best matchup. I'm not sure about that, though. I did teach him the 9 pool, so I have a strong feeling he's going to go for that. Almost exclusively in this tournament. We'll see if I'm right. But yeah, outlook for him is grim, but yeah, I look forward to watching his other games in this tournament, both as a competitor and as a commentator.
Okay.
Well said.
Actually, I'm just going to ad-lib and throw on a new question to the list that we have behind the scenes. If you win this set, your next opponent will be our fellow commentator Gianni. Do you have anything to say on that before we get down to it?
Um,
Would you be looking forward to that matchup? Would you not want it to happen? Would you purposely lose this so you go up to the losers bracket to avoid Gianni?
no, none of that has crossed my mind. In fact, like, what's later down the line for me in the match, I hadn't even considered, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of wish we asked Mark this question because I'd be a little interested in hearing his answer.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah. Oh well.
I don't know. I don't get ahead of myself and think like, when I win this match, I'll do blank. Yeah, I take it as it goes.
It's a very humble perspective.
But I do think I'm going 2-0 here. So I guess I will be going up against Gianni. I have really no comment for that right now. I guess we'll save that for when I've thought about it, in the future. If I win this game, if I win this match.
Yeah, we'll save it for the pre-match interview questions. Or I guess
Exactly.
I'll save it because I guess unless Jason or someone else steps in, I'll be the only one there. Yeah. Any closing
Closing thoughts?
thoughts?
No, just like Among Us. When you ask closing thoughts, I thought Among Us.
Discord,
Okay.
Among
Painful.
Us, Jews, Israel.
I hate this. Hold on, let me get my music. I gotta play my music so I can play.
Oh,
Don't put this in yet.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right, we're
All right.
sending you back.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Here, also, Will, why don't you tell Blue that he can spectate if he wants to? And just type,
okay.
and just type in the in-game lobby chat if he's gonna or not.
Okay.
Just because he
Alright.
looks lonely.
Alrighty.
Alright, word. Good luck.
I mean-
I don't
All right,
know.
let's move to
if you-
commentators.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Blue is here, I think, almost every time. And I
Yeah,
don't know, I might
he's been
rope him in to be a
I was
commentator.
gonna say, I thought about that too. You know
Well,
what? Should I just temp give him commentator?
Sure, if you want. But I was thinking, like, if you and Will end up going against each other, then I would want a co-commentator.
Yeah, that's
And
fair,
he's
that's
always
fair.
here, so
That's
unless Jason comes back in the final hour.
fair. Which would be nice.
You know, honestly, it's kind of poetic. Jason showed up out of nowhere to be a commentator, and then he leaves out of nowhere.
Oh, I guess he didn't feel like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's something I'll ask him about at some point if he's not. He said, "Let us begin."
Oh yeah, because of the Corsair.
Yeah, that's a reference to the Corsair. We were talking about it before the stream started. So anyway, on Fighting Spirit, in the top right, we have the Black Zerg, Mark.
Damn, black kind of
And
looks
his
nice
opponent-
on Zerg.
Yeah, I know, for real. His opponent, in top left, I want to say white, but honestly it could be gray. Protoss, Will. Actually, looking on the mini-map, it's almost certainly white.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the Nexus in the name in the top right, in which case it's a little ambiguous.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's almost certainly white. I've noticed this with all of Mark's games. Him and his opponent, like, they pick different colors every time, and their colors are always like opposites. I think that's really cute.
Complementary colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I didn't notice in him and Jack's game. Were they red and blue, but all three games?
No, they were like red and blue, and I forget what their other colors were, but they were like complementary every time.
Maybe.
So anyway,
maybe
what
not.
Mark is doing here, this is something I just talked to him about before the game. Also, actually, Johnny, zoom in on that Overlord, because we were talking about drawing one. He does have the elephant tusk.
Oh, you're right. When you see him from the front.
Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
you're right. That is just his tiny ass head. You
Yeah.
can see it way better
Anyway.
on the front facing.
So what Mark is doing here is he's sending his Overlord clockwise, and the reason is the Nexus in the bottom or I said Nexus, the natural or the first expansion in the bottom right is closest to the top right position. So if Will were in the bottom right, Mark's Overlord would get there and see the expansion before he has to just fly all the way into the main base. And it's just a faster way of confirming where a Protoss position could be. And now I was too busy ranting about the Overlord, so I don't.
Best pylon placement for Will at his natural. A little close to where that Nexus is gonna be.
I have faith that pylon's fine. But anyway, just back to Mark for a little bit. He did a 9 pool, like Will talked about. I don't know for certain because I wasn't watching when he did that because I was talking about the Overlord. But judging by when his Overlord finished versus when his pool finished, I think it was a 9 pool. And anyway, going back to Will, yeah, you generally want to do that if you're going for a pool this quick. Or actually, when your pool finishes, you almost always just want 6 Zerglings no matter what, no matter when you get the pool. But with Will's pylon,
Mark should just
I'm almost positive. Oh yeah, but I'm almost positive Will knows the wall positions on this map like perfectly, because the last time I played against him, I went for like a kind of cheesy Zergling build, and I just ran right past his wall and killed him. And he was like, "All right, I'm learning all the walls." So
why did you send those fresh Zerglings with the others in the bottom?
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to hide them. Having 10 is a lot.
I was gonna
so
say,
maybe he is planning to go for some early aggro cheese.
I sure hope
so. But Will has 2 cannons, and 2 cannons just Zerglings can't do anything when they have 2 cannons.
He could have done something with those 6 Zerglings, maybe been a little annoying, harassed some workers.
Yeah, he could have at least ran by with like maybe 2 remaining.
I don't know, but he's got.
Will's playing very safe. He just started his Nexus.
And he's got a wall off with his Zealot and his probe there. We're gonna see if does Mark decide to go in or does he?
Mark has 2 more Lings at his base. Mark has a whole control group of Lings. He's playing very aggro this game, but they're not doing anything. Ooh. And yeah, two cannons shuts down Zerglings.
Can they just 2-shot them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you could like Zerglings can run by 1 cannon or like beat up a wall if you have enough Zerglings. But when there's 2 cannons, you have to transition into Hydras or Mutas. I guess you technically don't have to, but if you want to maximize your chance of winning, you've got to do that. So Mark is throwing down his 3rd hatchery in a location that would be good against Terran because it makes it harder to scan. But against Protoss, this position is not ideal.
Maybe having an more north in the base would be a bit more viable, but
yeah, or throwing it in the front for a wall would be really good.
Yeah, that as well.
But you know, he is getting a 3rd hatch, which is always good. And Mark needs to start thinking. So Mark did get a quick Evo. Okay.
And he's now getting gas. Maybe a little late. I don't know proper Zergle build orders, but
I think it's fine. I think it's a relatively good time. He could have gotten it faster, especially if he wanted to do Hydra stuff. But yeah, now's not the worst time. But what Mark does need to start thinking about is this 3rd base. And he's throwing down some creep colonies to turn into Sunkens. Will's just walking in with a probe, and he just lost it. That was really slumsy. I don't even know what I wanted to say. Clumsy by... I guess I want to say sloppy and clumsy.
Will getting a decently early Stargate. Probably going to try some Corsair harass.
I don't think this is early. Because with Mark's position... Will never be able to scout with anything other than a Corsair. Unless you go for, like, another air unit. But you basically need a Corsair to scout. And for all Will knows, Mark could have like 2 control groups of Hydras hidden away in his base.
Well, he's got a Hydralisk den just finished, so he's probably
This
gonna
is
start
a
Hydras now.
little late. I think Mark has probably overmade Zerglings a little. It's not like having these Zerglings isn't bad. However, each Zergling is 1 less drone, and that's bad.
Yeah, he's maybe a little low on the drone count.
Yeah.
The supply difference is not looking
with...
great. Oh, that poor Overlord.
Actually, no, the supply difference is fine. If Zerg is even on supply, you're behind. And losing... Oh, he's going to lose this other Overlord, too.
Oh,
However...
right at the very front.
However, this is delaying Will's scout. This is delaying Will's scout. So again, this like, oh, it was with the cannons, not the Corsair. Never mind, it didn't delay Will's scout at all.
Oh, but he had 2 Overlords come out at the perfect time, so he didn't get supply block too hard.
Yeah, just barely didn't get supply block.
Ooh, Will working on Templar archives. I wonder if he's gonna have some nasty Dark Templar or High Templar storms coming up.
Yeah, well, so how this matchup works is Zerg. Once Zerg gets Hydras, they're wearing the pants in the matchup. You know, they have complete control of everything. The ways to counter that are either Reavers, which are just really awkward and kind of risky, and the Reavers are the kind of thing you pull out like 1 in 10 games, or Templars. Dark Templars, if the Zerg is sloppy with their overlords or they get picked off by Corsairs, Dark Templars can really mess things up. And then High Templars, Hydralisks just group up. They are small, so they can get right up next to each other, and you can get some real money storms in. And Mark is actually making some spore colonies, which I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And his wall-in isn't perfect, but it is good.
It will likely do the job, especially.
Yeah, it'll get the job. It'll get the job done. It's not a tight wall-in, but you know you don't want a tight wall-in at this.
Will
as
scouting
a
this
Zerg.
bottom right base, he's gonna spot that Overlord and probably kill it off. Yep.
Yeah.
Mark does have a lair up at his natural. Interestingly enough,
Mark went for double Hydra Den. Is he just going for super fast? This is a thing. If you get double Hydra Den, you just get Hydra movement speed and attack range at the same time, and it's a really deadly timing.
Will opting for a third before Mark does.
Yeah, Mark is behind. And you might be like, well, look at the supplies. Of course he's behind. This supply is actually fine for Zerg. Zerg, when it comes to supply, can do a lot with a little. And because of that, if Zerg is ever ahead in supply, you're behind. Unless you're also a Zerg. In which case, I guess you're also behind, because you're behind in supply. But yeah. So this, looking at the supply doesn't tell the full story. How you know Mark is behind is because he doesn't have a third base.
I really hope Mark is researching Overlord speed at that lair, because he desperately needs it. Just so these Overlords can run away from Corsairs and whatever else.
Yeah, if he's on top of it with Hydras or Scourge, he doesn't really need it, especially because Will only has, I think, 2 Corsairs. These Corsairs are mainly just scouting and light harass. Oh, and here come the DTs out of Will's base. They're just going to march across, I think, see what they can get done. Oh, and they're
DTs
splitting up.
Go in opposite directions. Interesting play.
Yeah.
Oh, is Mark going to try and take this bottom right expansion? I think he just might.
Mark sees the DT in the middle of the map, but I'm not sure if he was paying attention. He does have an Overlord by these like billion of Zerglings.
It seems like his camera was on there, so he might so he might have seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I have just completely turned off Will's vision, so I can tell where these.
Is Mark sending out Zerglings to the middle to deal with those Dark Templar?
No, I think these are just for scouting.
I think he's just rotating.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to see what's up. Maybe. Oh, here comes this Corsair. Mark still hasn't even started a hatchery at his potential third base.
There comes another.
Which is
Will with the big gateway explosion. Not.
Oh, and Mark's not even mining from the gas that is natural.
Oh yeah.
No
he's gonna
wonder
be-
his
he's gonna-
gas is so...
Yeah, he's gonna be behind in gas. Does he only have one guy on gas? He does.
Oh, does he? Oh, God.
Yeah, he's gonna be behind in gas.
Yeah,
He's got
if
3
I
idle
were Mark
drones
right now,
at his
I were
main.
Mark right now, I'd be spamming those hotkeys. I'd be like, 5SH, not enough gas.
Upcoming
What's
battle
going
at Will's
on?
front.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got High Templars out though.
This is gonna really come down. Actually, let me look at the upgrades. Okay, Mark is behind on carapace upgrades, so these zealots are just going to melt these zerglings.
Where is Mark taking these drones at his natural? Oh, I don't think he meant to do that.
Yeah, he probably didn't. He probably meant to grab one and just
Yeah.
messed it up. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark is sending 7 Hydras chasing this Corsair around. That's really bad.
Yeah, better to just. Oh, he doesn't even have a
And I
spire.
don't
He
think
can't make Scourge.
Will hasn't actually shown these DTs yet. Oh, and Mark's not moving. Mark's not microing his Overlord, so this Corsair is going to be able to pick it off.
Not gonna. Oh, why'd he go that way? Should've
His
gone towards
Hydras
the
are
spore-
moving that way.
I would have gone toward the spore colonies.
Oh, that was really. Oh no, Will's going to lose this Corsair.
Oh yeah.
No, no, never mind.
These are my bluffing Templar.
If I had to guess, okay, I've played against Will in the past, and we played this really long, drawn-out game where Will essentially lost because he forgot to research Psionic Storm. And so if I had to guess, it was the same thing, where Will just has these Templars sitting here gathering energy, and then he's like, oh, I don't have Storm. This is a very passive game from Will, actually.
Man.
And his third base is very vulnerable. If Mark were to do a
Also,
counterattack there, that'd be really
I
yummy.
believe we missed it, but there was a fight at Will's front on the Fat Bridge.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have called it a fight, but
Mark just lost like a control group of Zerglings to these zealots.
yeah, I would have called it a slaughter, like a massacre. But I guess fight works.
These dragoons struggling to get out of the.
And
struggling to
here's
get out of
something
the
that you
wall.
talked about, Gianni. You
Walking
looked
through
at
the
the
pro
wall
line.
in one of the practice games I did against Mark, and you were like, dragoons aren't going to get through this. It's like, yes. However, at this point in the game, what Will can do is just kill off that top pylon and cannon. He no longer needs a wall, so he can kill it off to help unit flow.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if you're seeing this, but dragoons have been like walking through the probe line.
Yeah,
There's that
I've been
one
watching
dragoon
it. That's
to the
really
bottom of the
bad.
gas.
Yeah, Will needs to clean up this
Jeez,
wall
Mark-
a little bit.
Mark's
And Mark has
pretty
Mark's
behind on his
supply,
tech.
funny.
Oh god, the
Yeah.
supply difference is
He's
staggering.
behind on tech. He's behind on supply. He still only has a layer. A Queen's Nest not even started.
Okay, I believe these High Templar definitely have Storm now. I think
Oh
this
yeah,
is, I
they
think
have
this,
to.
that's a lot of Sunkens though. Mark might be a little overconfident with it though.
Yeah, these Sunkens will deter until Will gets either like a carrier, or like even better, a Reaver, or like even the best
gonna say,
option, a
what's-
shuttle and just go around. Like,
I mean, there's
yeah,
all
he
those,
could just shuttle and go around. And you
yeah.
might be like, well, he doesn't know that. It's like, he has Corsairs. Corsairs are relatively tanky. They can definitely bomb in and check out what's up. And just look at the supply difference. That
Yeah,
says it
it's-
all.
it's
I was saying,
32
I was
to
talking
101.
before about how it's okay for Zerg to be behind. But I mean that as in, it's okay for Zerg to be behind like 20 or maybe 30. If Zerg's behind 100, that's just like, that's real bad. You know, I think. So
No,
I guess
these Hydras
Mark-
are not stuck inside.
I actually don't think they are.
There's no way. There's no way
yeah.
these Hydras are
But
stuck.
anyway,
Can't-
I don't think that Mark has necessarily been playing this badly.
Interesting
think the
place for
problem-
a Queen's Nest.
Oh, that was a no way! I saw that and I was just like, oh, it's another sunken. I didn't even. I was so
Oh,
confident
he
that
went
was a
around.
sunken. I didn't
He
even
went
click on it.
around, Will.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Will's,
got the observer.
Will's crafty like that, and this is a really good angle to hit. Anyway, I don't think Mark played this game badly. I
Oh,
think
here
he just
they come.
forgot gas.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
he's so behind in
if-
gas. Zealot's just gonna pick off these Sunkens like they're nothing. Storm coming
Yeah.
out, gonna deal with these.
Oh
just
god,
tearing
that
up the
storm was
Hydralisks.
so good.
Tearing up the Hydralisks.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, no more Zealots, but the Dragoon's gonna keep doing work. More
But the
storms
thing is,
coming
with this supply difference, Will's supply would have to be like 100%
out. Oh my god,
enclosed
Will
for
morphed
Mark
them
to
to
have
an
a
Arkin.
chance. Oh yeah, no, that's what you do. It just takes so long for energy to rebuild up. And Archons are really good in this matchup. So yeah, he just actually killing this Queen's Nest isn't that big of a deal.
Oh, here comes another Death Army.
But yeah, this is GG.
I think this
honestly.
is the death push. That Arkin's just gonna keep doing work. Along with these Zealots just overloading on these sunken colonies. Only one left.
Yeah.
One sunken colony is not capable of much with this many
honestly,
enemies.
Mark should be GGing at about this point.
Yeah, very. Yeah, Mark was just a little behind. Was just really behind in his tech and his gas.
Yeah, no. So you might be watching and think, well, you know, what's the big deal with the gas? Mark had 1/9 of the gas income you like need in this matchup, and he had 1/6 of the gas income that you can get on 2 base.
This is my bluffing base.
Yeah, this was just Mark. We saw some cool things from Mark, like, you know, having his guys out on the map for vision and walking around with Hydras trying to pick off Corsairs. But it really
gimmicks only get you
does
so
just
far.
come down to
Gimmicks
yeah,
only get
it
you so
really
far.
well, those weren't even gimmicks, you know. Those would be nice things to do in a like bigger game. But at the end of the day, he needed a 3rd base, he needed gas, he needed a 4th base, and Mark actually GG's.
There's
you know?
the GG. Okay,
he
I think that's our first GG of the tournament.
Yeah, actually, I just want to call this out. In my game against Michael audibly said GG, and I really appreciate that. But I kind of want to build up a culture within the tournament of typing out GG, because that way the viewers get to see that you're a good sport. Anyway, yeah, Will was just on fire for that game.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't really talk about what he was doing because, in a way, it almost didn't matter. But, like,
real quick,
Will...
Butter's the next match, right?
Yeah, Butter's the next one.
Continue.
So, like, we weren't really talking about what Will did because it almost didn't matter. But Will was just playing out of his mind. You know, we were saying all this stuff like, oh, Mark needs more gas. Mark needs a 3rd base. But in all honesty, if Mark got that stuff up, Will was just playing so well that it might not have even mattered.
Yeah, Mark was just so behind in his tech. Like, by the time Will was at his front, like, he should have had, like, Defilers and Muta Harass. And
well, but the
he
thing
didn't
is,
even have a 3rd.
By the time Will was up at Mark's base, Mark should have had like 200 Hydralisks banging on Will's front door.
Yeah, I don't know how good Lurkers are in this matchup. Maybe good defending, but probably
Well,
not much.
Lurkers have a niche because the thing is, observers are so easy to pick off with anything that Lurkers are very strong. The thing is, each Lurker is like 3 less Hydras just because of the price of a Lurker and the fact that you literally have to turn a Hydra into it. But anyway, in the top right on this 2-player map, we have the black Protoss, Will, and in the bottom right, we have the white Zerg, Mark. Mark needs to win this game to get on circuit breakers like he was talking about in the interview. And Will, on the other hand...
map for him.
Yeah, and Will, on the other hand, he just needs to win this game, and then he advances. You know, he could lose this game and then win on circuit breakers. It doesn't matter, like, he just has to win a game.
Did the game just call that, like, bird NPC a hallucination?
I wasn't looking. What?
So
Wait,
like
where?
you know like the animals hang on like at Mark's
Yeah.
screen, it was like there. It's like out of the vision
Okay.
now. Hang on.
Alright, I'll be looking around.
No, hang on. I'm gonna go. Oh, I can't do diplomacy and spectator seat.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Okay.
if I see
Mark
it again.
did do the attractor trick. Oh, okay, he did another 9 pool.
That he did, and Will's
I wish
pro.
Mark would mix it up. Because 9 pool isn't that good if the Protoss is competent. You can see Will is already starting a wall. He is already going to have a gateway up. Although, actually, so there are 2, like, openings, so to speak, in as Protoss. You can either go Forge first or Gateway first. And a 9 pool is actually pretty
Scouting.
good against Gateway first. And also, yeah, those
Scout.
drones taking out that.
I don't know if that was the best use of
oh.
2 drones, but to get rid of the scout, maybe it's for the best.
Yeah. Honestly, unless Mark does something really unorthodox, it's not worth it. But anyway, Will is going for 2 gates. Okay, so let me break this down.
Yes.
2 gates is I guess you could say it's a cheese, because cannons, without cannons, you just lose to Hydras basically. But 2 gates has the goal of just killing Zerg. 2 gate. So there are 2 kind of variations of this, and I think I know which one Will's going for, but I'll talk about both. The first one is you just like non-stop, as soon as a zealot's ready, send it over, beat up the Zerg. And the other variation, which I think Will is going for, is he's going to bank some up and then go for a forge, get +1 attack, and go for a really early giant zealot +1 attack timing attack. And I suspect that's the case, but we really don't know. Yeah, you can see he already has 3 zealots.
3 zealots, yeah. That's gonna. But
Like,
Mark
3
Mark
zealots-
has 10 zerglings, but I think zealots will win that fight.
Actually, no. If they engage in the open, Zerglings win. But if zealots get in these really weird nooks and crannies, so Zerglings can't surround them, then the zealots take the win.
Oh yeah, but Will doing a proper wall off, so I don't think these zerglings are gonna be able to slip through.
Yeah. Oh,
Even-
actually, Will's not doing the +1 timing attack.
Interesting.
He's going for a
pylon
cyber
placement.
core. The pylon placement's fine.
Still no forge.
It doesn't really matter.
Still no forge though. No cannons at all.
Yeah.
That's
If
6
Mark was
zealots,
just-
though.
Oh, Mark's going 3rd hatch before gas. Mark is just... Oh, actually, honestly, I think this is pretty good for Mark. Just getting a giant amount of Zerglings. This might work, because Will doesn't have cannons. And walls aren't very good if you don't have any cannons behind them.
Oh no, they're going
Oh,
for the gateway.
yikes. Okay.
Not A-clicked.
Yeah. Well, no, he probably A-clicked and then accidentally clicked on the gateway. Just because if you A-click in the fog of war, even if you're like a foot away from a building, the game's sometimes just like, oh, did you mean to click on this gateway? But yeah,
Mark,
so...
Interesting hatchery placement from Mark. 4th hatchery.
Yeah. Mark... I think Mark is just going to go for,
Engagement
massive Zergling.
Engagement happening towards the middle.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Zergling.
That
micro.
could have gone okay for Mark. But he
Zergling
chose to
micro.
ran away, which I think is... Actually, never mind. He doesn't have any...
Around.
Oh, he's going for a backstab, but this isn't going to work because Will still has 4 zealots back there.
He doesn't have any zerglings to protect this. I think.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say, I like-
Will is confident. He's marking the zealots confidently.
Yeah. Oh my god, the Zerglings get in!
Oh.
Oh, Will very quickly
Mark
reacts and
flipped.
pulls back to this other choke point.
Oh, Mark, please go for the miners as main.
No, he had to take this fight. The Zealots cut him off at the choke point. Actually, they shouldn't have taken that
He
fight.
could have slipped through.
I don't think it would have been worth it. I think what he should have done is gone back for the pylon powering the gateways, or go for the building nexus and delay Protoss's second base. But either way, Mark just doesn't have enough Zerglings. I think he lost. And he also... Will has a probe in Mark's space.
Does he?
Look,
He does,
yeah.
hiding in the corner.
Okay. Anyway, Mark has
Oh, he's
no...
gonna walk right past.
Mark doesn't...
No Zerglings.
I just realized Mark doesn't even have gas. These aren't even speed Zerglings.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a GG.
yeah, nothing to defend these, nothing to defend these
Yeah.
miners.
This is
Pulls him
an
back, though.
unfortunate... This is unfortunate from this. I think in this game, Mark lost from a lack of scouting. Because if Protoss is going 2 gates, that's something you have to deliberately, like, act on. You know, you have to see that and, like, actively change what you're doing in the next, like, 5 seconds. And Mark didn't see that, and so Will was able to just build up too many zealots too quickly, and by the time Mark found out, he just didn't have enough Zerglings, and it was already too late.
Very, very unfortunate
Yeah.
for Mark here. Yeah. Oh,
No GG.
Damn, Mark probably not too happy about how quickly that game was over.
Yeah, this matchup in particular, I guess all Zerg matchups, in my opinion, are very, like, you just have to know it, bro. It's like there's no, like, oh, well, you should have done this. Or like, oh, the proper counter to this. It's a lot of, like, okay, you learn from experience. You lose to 2 gateways, like, 5 times, and then you're like, okay, 2 gateways are a thing I have to look out for.
Yeah.
So anyway, are we gonna rejoin?
Yeah. Let's go into general and meet with our contenders after their
Was wrong. I moved them deeper in when I didn't mean to, and it fucked everything up. Oh
Alright,
man,
boys.
that's fine though.
What'd you think, boys?
I tuned in pretty late, but you guys missed it. There was a point in the second game when Mark just went, "What? No, fuck! I didn't want that."
Oh,
Yeah,
was that when
I
you
had
got the Zerglings past his front, but you didn't go into the main and you just kind of went behind the mineral patch of the natural?
No, because I didn't even mean to go into the natural at all. I meant to keep
That was
them
good,
parked
though.
outside.
Yeah, I think.
And then, like,
I think that if you had like gone and slipped in and then gone for his miners at his main, that would have really been annoying and slowed him down.
Yeah.
Mark, I just have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
In the first game, did you know you only had 1 guy on gas?
Yeah. I had things going too slowly in terms of like defenses, and in
I
terms of
think
just
you
building up.
had things going too slowly in terms of your gas income, bro.
My bad.
It became that. It became that.
Yeah, like against, well, really just against anything that's not another Zerg. Zerg needs 3 gases, like 3 bases to mine gas from.
Yeah.
So you had like 1/9 of the gas income that is comfortable for Zergs.
Yeah. I
and,
had
like-
3 on 1 at one point, and then and then I saw things start to, like, other things start to dwindle, and then I tried to reorient, and it was a really weird way of doing that by taking out miners out of the gas. But
1/9. Yeah, you know, I mean, honestly, Mark, for a matchup that I just gave you a quick, like 40-minute rundown on, it was all right. You know,
It was.
You
It was.
you didn't do too badly.
thank you.
You know, I'm sure if you watch especially on the first game, Gianni and I were basically only talking about what you were doing, and not to be like, oh, he's so bad, but just because it's like, at least for me, every time I looked at Will's base, I was like, oh, he's doing exactly what I expect from him. So the first game is a lot of, in my opinion, constructive criticism, when we're like, oh, Mark needs to do this, he needs to like get a 3rd base, he needs to be teching. So I think the second game as well, but particularly the first game, you could learn a lot from that.
For sure. Okay.
Yeah, and also
Alright,
like you were just like you need to go for that third as there. Like you have to go for that third whenever you can.
And against Protoss especially, the third base is basically free. For the Terrans, you really got to fight for it, but yeah, against Protoss it's free. So anyway, moving on to the tournament as a whole, Mark is not eliminated. He moves down to the lower bracket or the losers bracket, where he will fight the winner of Zeke versus Jay. Will, on the other hand, moves forward to fight Gianni in the winners bracket semifinals. And just, I guess, a heads up, I think that's overall like the quarterfinals of the tournament. I don't know. It's kind of weird to do that with the two bracket system.
It would be known as winners semis, or it would be known as winners semis.
Yeah, winners semis.
But
Yeah.
as it was, GG's all around.
Yeah, GG's.
So who is Mark's next opponent in the losers bracket?
Either the winner of Zeke and Jay. So either Zeke or Jay.
You're right.
And I guess, I don't know, I like a post-game interview. Mark, Zeke or Jay, which one would you rather advances?
You know, I can't say which one I would rather advance, but what I will say is I think that playing against either would be great for very different reasons. I think playing a game against Jay would just be like a super fun match where like we both have moments to kind of goof off and both also have moments to kind of like really show what we know, while me and Zeke I think would just be just a really like epic matchup.
That
like,
would be
no other way to put it.
Okay. So which one do you think is going to advance?
Fuck, I'm trying to dodge it. You know, from what I know about both players, I think Zeke is going to take it, especially the situation that I think Zeke will be in by the time that the match actually happens, with Jay being kind of away right now.
He comes back on Sunday.
Yeah. Since they come back on Sunday, I think they'll be a little bit behind in terms of preparedness. And that's nothing against them. It's just kind of what would happen. So I think Zeke has the upper hand for sure. But you know, I think it's just gonna be a good match to watch either way.
All right, that's an optimistic view.
I agree. So,
well-
Will, your next opponent is Gianni. Wow,
I can't wait.
He's like, what do you think about that, handsome?
But honestly, I feel like before we do any of that match, we should probably move some other. We should probably get some of the other matchups going.
Oh, definitely.
Like
Yeah,
losers, get losers bracket started. Get that freaking Blue and Jason game in before we do any of those quarterfinals.
Yeah, really, we should do them tier by tier, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, but at the same time, if something gets delayed for a long time, I'm okay with going a little out of order. But yeah, overall tier by tier. Well, I guess not to hold this stream up too much longer. Yeah, thanks for watching. The next match we are doing is most likely Blue versus Jason, but we don't have a date or time set for that. It could also hypothetically be Zeke versus Jay.
Depending on what ends up happening, really.
Yeah, I would say, you know, if you're a fan and you're catching this live, I guess, and you're not in our Discord for it, just keep your eyes out around the weekend, this upcoming weekend, and we'll probably have something up.
Yes, absolutely. But in regards to this stream and this match, Will, congratulations, you move up. Mark, good luck in your next Mark. Good luck against against either Zeke or Jay.
And you
We
know,
look
Mark,
forward to both
you
matches.
still have a 60% win rate.
That's true. That's true. It's higher than 50 and higher than most of these people, I think. That's
Yeah,
true.
bro.
Listen, I can't even get my game in. What do you mean?
That's true.
Oh, actually, I guess one last thing before we close it out. In the upcoming Will versus Gianni match, I might be looking for a co-commentator, depending on Jason's status there. So if you're interested, leave a comment in Gianni's YouTube video and like and subscribe.
For this one, yeah.
Or if you're just here in the call with me right now, I guess we could talk about it.
Game knowledge not required.
Yeah, honestly,
I'll be a
true.
commentator.
No
I think
experience
I
required.
could
Will
be a
train.
fantastic commentator.
If
to be
nothing
honest with you.
else, I'll just rope Michael into it. Like, depending on when the
Let
matchup
me be a
happens, I
commentator.
might literally be home. So I might literally
Oh,
be in the
yeah.
same building as him.
But there's some time from now until that matchup because we got to get the other matches going before that quarterfinal match happens. So
Oh my god, we could all be together in person and commentate. That'd be amazing.
Okay,
That'd be really
epic.
funny.
That'd be awesome.
We have like a webcam. That'd be kind of rude. Like I don't know where we'd put it where it's not in the way. It's kind of an intense game.
Yeah, really.
It'd still be funny.
Well,
Absolutely.
as for this match, GG's all around. Good luck
Yeah.
in your future matches. No one is out of the tournament yet.
Although at this
and,
point, we're getting close to having
for
to
the-
eliminate somebody.
And for the people watching at home, good night and sleep tight. Burr, 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 bing.